XRP is a scam. Banks will never use XRP. Okay, I mean, they have. Granted, not to the capacity that we want, but they have. I mean, that's just factually wrong. They will use some form of USD stablecoin. USD backed by Bitcoin or just straight up Bitcoin. Let me explain. Please do. I'm trying not to go off already, dude. It's early in the morning. We got the energy drink flowing. We've seen this guy before on the channel. I'm the Bitcoin guy. 10 years of finance industry. Okay, let's find out. XRP is not decentralized. That's literally factually wrong. Already, you're factually wrong. Your second XRP is a scam. That's false already. Banks will never use XRP. That's false already. They will use some form of USD stablecoin, USD backed by Bitcoin, or just straight up Bitcoin. That's delusional. Let me explain. Okay, XRP is decentralized. The developer for XRP is Ripple Labs. Okay, banks don't want to be taken advantage of. I don't think anyone does. They are aware. They are the ones who take advantage of others. Okay, 80% of XRP was issued to Ripple Labs. Okay, now execs sell XRP to run the company. Okay. Ripple controls 50% of the supply. That's wrong. That's wrong. They have, I think, 42% as of right now, and we still aren't completely sure about the escrow. People like to say that as a definitive. We don't know if some of it is pre-allocated. They got 1,700 NDAs. You got to at least consider that a potential possibility. You really think they won't sell a bunch of it if the price goes up? Of course they will. Dude, that's their whole motive. Like, that's why we're invested in this shit. The ledger itself is decentralized, but the price action's going to be coming from Ripple, baby. I mean, that's what I know, at least. What the hell? No one else is using it. They're building the bottleneck, the ledger in the center of it. You go through them. The on-chain data has not shown it over this whole time. I understand that. I'm not oblivious to that. But that's what I see coming. It's a good plan. It's a real good plan. You got to give it to them. Their whole incentive, most likely, if they do own all of that escrow, of course, they probably want the fucking price to go up. They're trying to apply for a bank charter. They're trying to make moves. Whether you think they're going to do it or not in the end game, from where they're looking right now, their position's looking real good, bro. Those acquisitions alone, those last 4, that's positioning them real good. And you got to give them credit where credit's due. You really think they won't sell it? Of course they will. Why wouldn't they? That's their whole point. I think they want to be a bank, and then, basically like, we got the keys type shit. Why is it that XRP couldn't get back to all-time high for 8 years? I don't know. You could probably say that about a bunch of tokens. Okay. Dude, everything is struggling right now. I don't know what. Okay. Ripple can change the code of XRP if they want to issue more XRP. That's false. That's outright false. Nobody can stop them from doing so. That's completely false. Completely false. Yet again, the ledger is decentralized, bro. And granted, I guess you can argue, I guess on paper it's more centralized because there's not as many validators and all this shit. I mean, I guess you can nitpick everything. If the US cracks down on XRP, nobody will use it. If the US cracks down on any of these, they're not going to use it. Hence, what the fuck do these people think was going on with the lawsuit the whole time? Well, why haven't they made any moves in the last fucking however many years? Dude, that lawsuit went on for 6 years, I believe. 6 years. 6 years of having the boot on the neck. But they were still out there getting the conversations done. Brad over there brushing shoulders with the people that matter. And now it looks like all that time's starting to pay off, is what it looks like. We'll find out in the end. Probably relatively soon, too. Dude, the first XRP ETF launched today, the spot, Canary Capital, goes live when the market opens, 9:30, whatever time it is. Yeah, so we got a little juice because the government shutdown ended, too, also. And then we got juice from that. But now we creeped back down a bit. I think we were up to 252, 253. You got to stay wary of the price action for these ETFs. I don't expect them to juice the price. I think this, yet again, is the opportunity to give the big guys an opportunity to communicate, accumulate and communicate, I guess. Get all this shit. And then we got to be ready for the Clarity Act and the Fed coming in. Like, we need liquidity flowing is what we need right now. And we're all kind of at like a standstill. This just seems like unleash to Wall Street, unleash it so they can fucking scoop it up. And it's usually a story as old as time. People around the world don't care about XRP. It's a coin that people say will be used by banks. People around the world don't care about XRP. That's factually false too. Dude, Japan loves it. Japan and South Korea love it. It leads the South Korean exchanges, bro. Yet again. Oh, but then why is the price down? Why did no one use it? Yet again, dude, we don't have legislation. This is a long plan. It's a long plan. It sucks when you got like the really XRP maxi people, and then they're like, oh my God, it's fucking everything's the flip of the switch tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to draw a rectangle on the chart tomorrow. Yo, when the sun creeps up your ass, it's going to 700 schmeckles, dude. But that's just asinine to say. People around the world don't care about it. Okay, I could say that about Bitcoin. I'll pick something. You can say it about anything. When Ripple Labs was sued, XRP's value dropped significantly. Yeah, that is true. Okay. Let's contrast this with Bitcoin. Let's do. Anyone can run Bitcoin software, suggest changes. Okay. That's more or less true for the XRP ledger too. Largest Bitcoin owners will never own more than 5% of the supply. That doesn't sound right, but yet again, I'm not too sure of the math or anything. I think fucking Satoshi's wallet already is 5.22, so that's just like factually wrong, if that's the case. Code changes have to be approved by a majority of people running the Bitcoin protocol, and there are thousands. That's literally the same for XRP. What are you talking about, dude? You know, it's different by being the same. The fucking same exact thing. Is this guy all right? If XRP is banned in the US, the value would likely trend towards zero forever because nobody is using XRP to trade. Dude, what the fuck is he talking about? He's just making up random hypothetics. It literally fucking is not a security in paper. It's the only one like that. Like Bitcoin got the commodity designation. Dude, there's a reason Bitcoin and Ethereum have been the top, because of the look at the backing and the money and what's being pushed in your face this whole time, which is these free passes. They completely ignore the Ethereum ICO. That was kind of sketch. JP Morgan's involved. Goldman Sachs is involved. Gary the Fairy comes in, Jay Clayton comes in, Ripple's, these fucking guys, Ripple kind of seem like a competitor. I'm going to drop the lawsuit, I'm going to leave. They're going to send Gary the Fairy in to unleash 4 more years of just attacking the industry to try to protect certain people because of whatever the connection ends up actually being. When you both get a free pass, you have a long mover advantage in whatever industry. Yet again, just like people think, oh, Blockbuster was on top and all this shit. I'm not saying Bitcoin doesn't get dethroned, but I don't know. You never know. You never know. Like, I'm just seeing the way Jack Dorsey's rolling out the Square Bitcoin payments and stuff, and he's trying to push it to really make it, use it as money. But as long as people, I think, have viewed this through as this thing that sits there and it goes up. It sits there and its money goes up. That's what I think people... That's what gets everyone interested in this space, because when they rip, people, you're like, yo, you hit Bitcoin's a fucking 400%. They're like, what? What's Bitcoin? That type of crowd. If Bitcoin is banned, it will still be traded everywhere else, and price will rise because coins would be harder to buy more of. Exchanges may close down. People are using Bitcoin to transact regularly in other countries because they have no other way to transact. They're doing that with, like, not just XRP, other cryptos too. What the fuck are you talking about? And a lot of other cryptos too, like, yeah, are decentralized in a way. You just have to like look deeper if they truly are, I guess. But if XRP is banned in the US, the value would likely trend towards... They hold XRP because they think banks will use it in the future. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, not just banks though. I think Ripple is building to be Amazon, and I think the ledger is at the center of their product suite. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing, and that's a good business strategy in my mind. Even if they were... Like guys, yet again, I don't like this token wasn't really meant for us, I don't think. And I think they've done a really good job of keeping the narrative that way, like just keep it underground, because there's a reason they've tried to suppress it, and there's a reason the powers that be, CNBC or whatever, are pushing 3 completely different things. If we can all just kind of get on board with that, whether you do want to cry that no, but XRP is not being used. You can't look at it from that lens anymore, in my opinion. Like the Vibhu guy, he's pointing to on-chain data. Okay, but where are we sitting at right now on, what is this, November 13th, 2025? They look like they are on the brink of unleashing such a behemoth of a business, which... It already kind of is in the crypto space with the acquisitions it's making, whether you want to say so or not. Oh, but Solana had more users than stuff. Okay. Ripple's balance sheet has allowed them to acquire these guys. And then people, I think he even says this in this fucking argument at some point. He's like, oh, wait, let's just keep going. I'm getting ahead of myself. These guys get me amped up. This is the first story of the day. This is 18 minutes. Yo, this might have to be a video on its own. If exchanges are banned. Also, what the hell does he think went on when the lawsuit was going on? Coinbase delisted it. Like it was harder to get on some of the American exchanges. Coinbase, you know, being kind of like the main exchange, or at least one of them, definitely back in the day. Them being the main exchange, not listing XRP, because they did have it at a certain time, and I can't exactly remember if when it did hit its all-time highs. That would be good to look into again. Your thought, are you there?
Absolutely, I'm here and ready. If there's anything else on your mind, just
okay. All right. So I'm trying to figure out XRP back in 2018 during its bull run. There was CNBC pushing people to buy it at the very peak, more or less, because then it crashed. At the time of that peak that CNBC was pushing it, was XRP listed on Coinbase?
At that time, back in 2018, XRP was actually not listed on Coinbase. It only got listed on Coinbase a bit later, in February 2019. So during that peak in 2018, it wasn't available on Coinbase.
If exchanges are banned, any available Bitcoin would sell at a premium. Holders don't want to get rid of their coins. Okay, buying Bitcoin would become a lot more difficult, and individuals will be forced to buy from other markets where Bitcoin is still legal. Almost. Am I high? Probably. Wait. If exchanges are banned, any Bitcoin would sell at a premium. Holders don't want to get rid of their coins. Almost like that kind of happened with XRP in a sense, no? Because we're still up. Buying Bitcoin would become a lot more difficult, and individuals will be forced to buy from other markets where Bitcoin is still legal. Isn't that literally, even in 2018, the lawsuit wasn't even brought on them yet, and they were being strong-armed with the whispers of if it's a security or not. Meanwhile, Ethereum is able to do all this and have the first mover advantage. Imagine, they've had the boot literally on the neck since 2018 in the US, since 2018 to literally July or August of this year. You got to really take that into consideration. I don't think people do. They were still out there getting work done during that long time. It's just the as they all say, they praise the U.S. In the U.S.'s embracement of crypto, whether that's a good or bad agenda. I think we kind of know what's going on there with the deeper kind of currency wars, and it gets complicated. Study Bitcoin. Yeah, I'll be sure to do that. If XRP is decentralized, why does it have missing ledgers? Shouldn't the ledger be widely distributed? Why would any country use a ledger with a missing transaction? I think that was due to a mishap. Number 1 through 32 were lost. First we get the ledger, that's 32. Hey, this is a good point. This is absolutely a good point. I've heard this too. And actually, when Vibhu hosted that XRP Solana debate, and he got like 3 guys in there who were developers, not the OG developers, but like that, they fuck with the XRPL and they're building shit on it, and they're talking to him about like why they build on that as opposed to Solana. And some of them is just like they had just been doing it so long, it's just what they know. They don't really want to pick up and learn, because I guess Solana isn't the most user friendly for the builders to get on, according to them. And then even Vibhu, he kind of agreed, even though he didn't. You could tell like he didn't really want to. And Vibhu brought up this. I'm not going to be able to relay the message, I forget. But at the end of the day, it was something that kind of, according to them, so I'm just taking their word for it, according to them, wasn't anything too worthy of looking into more. But that's, yeah. And this guy, he put the not financial advice guy, his videos are crazy. I haven't watched them since I've done that video. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you want me to do more of the not financial advice videos, because I would. They're sick. It's not utility, it's a scam. Oh God, here we go. Go tell Franklin Templeton, Canary Cat. I know, seriously, like these guys still say this shit. It's too, you just look, I don't know how you look anymore. You're gonna like the way you look, I guarantee it. Who's that guy? The Dos Equis guy. Dos Equis guy. This guy, Rajat Sani, working at Chick-fil-A. He is not that guy. Nah, you're not that guy. You're not that guy, pal. 10 years finance industry experience. Oh, what's he say? Oh my God, wait, what? He talks? Owning Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to change your finances forever. Okay, I just read that shit. Shitland? What the hell is that? What would be the perfect name for a Solana country? Oh, this guy, yeah, dude, this guy is Bitcoin only. Like, it's so, oh my God, what the hell, dude? Like, I really wonder, because it was proven, fucking, I don't even know how many years ago. 2014 time frame-ish or something like that, in the early days of XRP and Bitcoin, it was proven that a couple of the Bitcoin guys were paid to muddy the waters and call XRP scam and shit and all this bull and just trash it. So we know that goes on. Of course it goes on. So like, you really gotta wonder if like, is this guy for real? Does he even believe it? Or is he like getting a little kickback and he's like, oh, I can believe it for that amount of money? You find the right people, that's what I mean. They'll be ride or die for this shit. You give them a check. I like Solana. I think Solana's got a lot of good things going for it too. I like them all. Not all of them. Yet again, never financial advice. Ever. Never. Okay. Solana's good. In my opinion, these are the ones I like. Solana, XRP, XLM, Link, HBAR, I think's got some good stuff going on. But yeah, that XRP, XLM, Chainlink, and Solana. That would be my top ranking. But yet again, Bitcoin and Ethereum, I got my fair share of both. But I never, after a certain point, was like, I'm going to accumulate more of those over these other ones. You know, like I'm going to hold it because in the event, which I do think they're going to pump Bitcoin to the gills eventually, because I think that's their money machine. Oh, he's got a presentation. Oh, shit.
What is the denomination of Bitcoin? So one Bitcoin is the equivalent of 100 million Satoshis.
Already, like if you're going to get the average person on board with that, they're not going to fucking call it a Satoshi.
You can buy, and the reason why I suggest that is because the costs of these amounts of Bitcoin is relatively affordable for most of my audience. We can see here that 0.01 Bitcoin today.
Yeah, guys, you can take your hard-earned money and get into this where this guy's probably getting paid. Ugh, I can't even listen to it. I can't. Like, doesn't mean I'm not open to it, but it's just I just see I have such a different perspective on this whole game. Doesn't mean Bitcoin won't do well. I think it will continue to do well. You just got to ask eventually, what, like, looking into the future, realistically, I don't know. Even if it stays on top, I think the upside is much great. This is never financial advice ever. I think it is, in my mind, it is much greater than Bitcoin. And it already has been, unless you were the early into Bitcoin and you made your Lambo money and went down to Miami. But I think the opportunity is elsewhere now. I think now we're moving into like I don't know, utility. I think that's where we're headed with this whole thing. And Jack Dorsey's out there trying to make it money, but at the end of the day, it's like I think the average person just wants literally yet again the simplicity of a single unit of money, a dollar. The end user, I don't think, more or less, is going to want to ever deal with all this bullshit in terms of different ones. So I think it's just going to be a USD stablecoin. At the end of the day, that takes most market share. I think we got to figure out which one that maybe will be. And then whichever one got the root and built the infrastructure behind that is going to be, people say it's Tether. The question really becomes, is that USAT, the American Tether that's coming out, you got to ask, because they just had the Condor conference with Howard Lutnick's son, which was weird finding that out. The main guy from Tether, Bo Hines, is there, Brad was there, and they're all sitting next to each other. So, and Kevin O'Leary's there. So now I really am trying to even conceive of what they could possibly be, like the conversations are like. I think Brad was directly next to Bo Hines. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, comment, turn on notifications to help out this YouTube video. You can support on Patreon and join our group, The Minutemen. I post exclusive videos there weekly. And what else we got going on? The Discord's still going to come soon. Just waiting for a couple more users before I actually launch it on there. It'll be nothing to launch. It's just once it's ready. And then I will be doing exclusive live streams over there, but I will now announce them in advance. Yo, shout out to the members of the Minutemen. We got Bracken, Glenn, and Shane. Shane, I made this picture the other day, so your name's not on here yet, but it will be. I gotta update the picture now. Every time someone joins, I gotta scribble it in there with fucking marker. Yo, I will see you guys over on Patreon. Peace out.